Maryan Rostampour. And ladies, I apologize if I mispronounce your name, and I'm not even going to try the last name. Would you introduce yourselves for us?
Hello. Thank you so much for having us. My name is Maryan Rostampour.
Hello, this is Marziyeh Amirizadeh.
Marziyeh?
Yes, Marziyeh.
Okay, it's not fair, Marziyeh, for us to make Jim and Tim here try to pronounce your last name.
See, we tried to make it easy for you guys.
Yeah, but we'll do the best we can. We appreciate so much the two of you being on the program. The book we have in our hand, Jim, which is their story, is called Captive in Iran. And it's subtitled A Remarkable True Story of Hope and Triumph Amid the Horror of Tehran's brutal even prison.
Evan prison.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies. Now, the foreword is by Anne Graham Lotz, and she said this: "Captive in Iran has strengthened my faith. Read it, and I believe it will. You will be strengthened in yours also." Ladies, that's a pretty strong endorsement, and you guys have walked through some stuff that we can't even begin to imagine.
Tell us the story. Tell us what we need to do to lay the groundwork for us, Miriam, if you would.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It is really a big honor for us that we could meet with Miss Anne Graham Lotz. It was really a miracle because from the first day that we moved to the United States, we meet with people that God really show us, and our meeting with her was really a blessing for us, and it was a huge honor for us that she accepted to write a foreword for our book. That we were in prison for 9 months in 2009. We got arrested in March. And then we got released in November. And we wrote, after we got released, we decided to write our stories, not just because we wanted to let other people to know about us and about our stories, but because we promised most of our friends in prison to be a voice for them. And as you know, persecution exists now, and Iranian government continues to arrest Christians. And we really don't want to forget our home and our people and those who are still in suffering. Yeah. So
Miriam, you and Marziyeh are both Iranians. You live in the United States today. You've been Marziyeh. You and Miriam. Did you grow up together? How did you become such close friends? And then tell us the story of what happened that led to your imprisonment.
Yes. Maryam and I, we met each other in Turkey in 2005. We both decided to study theology, and we went to Turkey, and we met each other there. And for about 7 months, we were in Turkey and studied theology. And after that, we returned to Iran. And we both had the same vision for evangelizing Iranian people. Because, as you know, in Iran there is just a false and distorted version of Bible, and people cannot find the real version of Bible. And we decided to distribute the Bible in Iran. And we distributed about 20,000 New Testaments in Tehran and a few other cities for 2 years. Usually at night, we carried about 140 New Testaments each in our backpack and visited one area and put them in the mailboxes. And after that, we started 2 house churches. One of them was for prostitutes, and the other one was for young people in our own apartment. And every day we went we went for eating at restaurants, shopping, or doing our chores. We were talking to people and handing them a Bible as a gift. As you know, all these activities are illegal in Iran because no one is allowed to talk about any religion except Islam. So some people, they had found about our activities and reported about us, and the police arrested us.
Now, in the book, you have a map of where you guys kept track of your outreach. Did they use that against you as evidence?
No. it was very good that when we were in prison, they couldn't understand about this, and they didn't know about these activities. They just found a few New Testaments in our house, and they thought maybe just we evangelized just a few people. They didn't know about this.
Mm. So, what years was this when you were in prison in Iran, Miriam?
It was in 2009. We got arrested in November 2009.
And how long were you there?
We were there almost 9 months.
What was the charge against you?
At the beginning, they sent us to a detention, and we stayed there for 14 years. And the judge sent us to prison with anti-government, charges. And because they couldn't simply send us to prison with apostasy or blasphemy charges. There's no charge like this in the constitution of Iranian government, and they had to say that we were political prisoners, and our first charge was anti-government. But after, I think, 5-6 months, because they couldn't prove that charge, they said that you were in prison because of apostasy and blasphemy and evangelizing Christianity.
Now, did you say... Did I hear you right? Did you say something about 14 years?
14 days.
Oh, good. Woo, okay,
Yes,
14 days. Okay, but you were in prison for 9 months.
Yes.
Okay, and so what you guys are telling us, you ladies, excuse me, the book is called Captive in Iran. It's a great book. It's available in bookstores everywhere. Marziyeh, do you have a website?
Yes, we have a website, captiveiniran.com. That's all the information there is in that website.
And you can order the book there too, probably.
Yes.
You? Anne Graham Lotz has endorsed this book. We mentioned that earlier. She's written the foreword for it. And Maryan Rostampour.
Yes.
And Marziyeh
Amirizadeh.
God bless you.
Yes. Amen, sister.
No, we are friends. We are just friends.
We're just kidding.
You describe in detail some of the things you guys went through. And, Maryam, I believe for a while you had a hard time seeing because of some infections and because of a medication the doctor gave you.
Excuse me, would you please repeat your question?
Sure. In the book, you describe in detail the illness that you went through, and because of one of the medications the doctor gave you, you wound up not being able to see.
Yeah, actually, we both were sick the whole 9 months in prison, and they didn't let us to see a doctor. And there is a doctor in prison, and they usually send prisoners to that doctor, but when the guards hear about our charges, which was Christianity, their behavior has changed, and they didn't let us even to see a doctor. And I was suffering from ear infection for about 2 weeks, and they didn't let me visit a doctor. After 2 weeks, because my sister had an interview with Voice of America, they were scared, and they led me to visit a doctor, and she gave me some medication, and because of those medication, I was poisoned, and for one night, I was thinking that I was going to die, but God really protected me.
Now, so you're in prison for 9 months, and for basically being anti-government. That was what you were in prison for. But you mentioned that the guards thought you were there for promoting Christianity, right?
Yes.
And that's illegal?
It is not legal. Nothing is. None of their activities are legal in Iran. But as they said, our interrogators and our judges said this many times to us, that we are above the law.
That they are.
The judges. They are above the law, and they can do whatever they want.
They do whatever they want. So technically, on the books, they couldn't put you in prison, but because it's basically a thuggery, if you will, or a situation where it's, those in control can't be ousted, so they do what they want to. So you have sort of a dictator.
Yes, exactly.
Dictatorship. How did you get out, Marziyeh? How did the two of you get out of prison?
Yeah, the first reason that we got released, we believe that it was because of God's grace. But apart from that, it was because of people prayers and because many people all around the world, they were supporting us by either by praying and sending letters to prison, which was very encouraging for both of us, and it was a huge help, and it made the Iranian government and our judges very angry. The Iranian government was under many pressure from some international organization like United Nations, Amnesty, and even Pope from Vatican sent a letter to the Iranian government. And because of all this pressure, the Iranian government, they were aware of, they know that many people are aware of their injustice, cruelty by keeping us in this prison. And they had to release us because they wanted to show that we have religious freedom in Iran, which is not true. And as you know, still there are many Christian people in this dark and brutal prison, like Saeed Abedini and one of our friends, Farshid Fathi. He was in prison for 3 years, and he still has to stay in prison for 3 more years. And he has a family, he has 2 children, and it's very sad. And they keep him in this prison. And we would like to be a voice for these people.
Now, in the book, you describe part of your release and a visit with the chief prosecutor, and that he had asked you to forgive some of the mistreatments and stuff. And then you said...
In jail, you mean?
Yes, the mistreatment they had in jail. And you simply replied to him when he gave you the freedom to say anything you wanted to. You simply replied with the words of Christ, who said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." How... I can't even begin to fathom me being able to do that. Were you truly being forgiven? Did you truly forgive them?
It wasn't easy to forgive them, but when we were in prison, we could touch many verses in prison because we didn't have Bible, and we could touch the suffer that Jesus had for us, and many verses in different situations. We touched many verses, and we prayed and asked God to give this power, because we are human beings, and with all our weaknesses, and it's not easy for us to forgive this type of people. But when we prayed, Holy Spirit really helped us to forgive these people. And at the end, as you mentioned, I told when one of our interrogator asked us for forgiveness, I told him the last sentence of Jesus on cross, and I told him that we will forgive you because you don't know what you are doing, and you are not against us, you are against God, and you should ask forgiveness from God.
We're talking about the book Captive in Iran. Maryan and Marziyeh are friends. They're both Iranian women. They live in the U.S. today. Are you citizens of the United States?
No, we are permanent residents, and in 3 years we will be citizens.
Did you receive a political asylum here, or just immigrated?
We came here through the United Nations, and we got received our green card 3-4 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
What back to your time in Turkey there before you went back home to Iran and were arrested? You became friends in Turkey at a university. You were studying at a university. Is that right?
No, it wasn't in university. It was like 4 or 5 months classes for those Iranians who had this passion to serve their people. And because we were supposed to go to London, but we couldn't get our visa to study at a real college for theology. Okay. And then we had to go to Turkey because for going to Turkey we don't need to get visa, and it's easier for Iranians to go there.